Waking up in the early light, tossing newspapers from my new bike. Sun's up, it's an early morn. Throw my last paper cut through the cornfield, down the hills, past the trees, to the place everybody's gonna be. So good to be young and fret free, on the banks of Tanner's Creek. On the banks of Tanner's Creek. On the banks of Tanner's Creek. Sled rides on frozen ice, got a girlfriend, sure looks nice. North wind, feet getting numb. Stand by the fire, warm up your buns. Cold brew, good friends, wishing this day would never end. Why would anybody not wanna be on the banks of Tanner's Creek? On the banks of Tanner's Creek. On the banks of Tanner's Creek. Where we were flinging rocks, hunting squirrel, shooting looks at a bright-eyed girl. From here till deep in the night, come on along, it's gonna be alright. First day, first kiss, big dare, skitty bit, whiskey bottle, half full. Alcohol can really take its toll. One chance, too late, chalk this one up to fate. It isn't always easy being young and free. All the banks of Tanner's Creek. All the banks of Tanner's Creek. All the banks of Tanner's Creek. Where we were flinging rocks, hunting squirrel, shooting looks at a bright-eyed girl. No messing till deep in the night. Come on along, it's gonna be alright. Laid off, depressed, bank account, one or less, credit cards in deep. No paddle trying to swim up creek. Well, a preacher man called me on the telephone, said he's never gonna leave me alone. Found God, or did he find me? Baptized on the banks of Tanner's Creek. On the banks of Tanner's Creek. One day I know I'm gonna die, I'll be my maker eye to eye. He'll replay the story of my life, how I love my kids and my wife tonight. Worked hard, did my best, comes time to lay me to rest. Only one place I wanna be, take it back to the banks of Tanner's Creek. On 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 the banks of Tanner's Creek.